Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at Superman number 3 from John Byrne's legendary run. Can't wait to share it with you guys, so make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let's get right into it. Okay, if you guys watch my biggest show, you know that I'm like obsessed with John Byrne and I love him and he's one of my favorite comic book artists. So I'm always happy to bring you more John Byrne. Anyway, this just fell out of my collection randomly. Superman number 3. I fell in love with John Byrne's artwork on Fantastic Four, and then I discovered X-Men after that and Alpha Flight, and just followed him religiously everywhere, all over the place. Still a fan. He's still working, pumping out pages every day of his X-Men fan fiction called X-Men Elsewhere, which is like a free fan fiction, for lack of a better term, that he's been doing for a couple years. Basically, what if John Byrne had never left the X-Men and Phoenix hadn't died and perhaps Chris Claremont did. Anyway, it's fun. The art's great. So this cover gives me joy for so many reasons. First of all, I love Darkseid. He is so cool. He has to be one of the coolest DC villains. And sadly, is that because Jack Kirby created him? I don't know. I mean, no slight to DC, but, Marvel kind of does have the... Oh, no, that's not really a fair statement. DC has plenty of cool villains, and Darkseid just happens to be one of them. So it makes me happy to see Darkseid on the cover. It's kind of funny how he became such a Superman villain, even though he's like a new god, whatever. The only thing that makes me okay, very cool, Legends crossover. That's like the 6-issue miniseries. Feel like that was John Byrne's debut at DC, even before like Man of Steel came out. Anyway, John Byrne and Terry Austin. It's funny because I just did my Fantastic Four 232 episode. And it was John Byrne's first issue as writer, penciler, and inker on the Fantastic Four. And I love John Byrne when he inks himself, but I love Terry Austin when he inks Byrne just as well. And I feel like this is the last time Byrne and Austin worked together, was on these first few issues of Superman. And boy, were they good. I mean, this art looks completely gorgeous. It's definitely a high point in Byrne's career. I feel like he was pretty much at the top of his game. I love this panel. It's going to take me a year to get through this 22-page comic book. But this is how much I love John Byrne. I love the mundane things. I love this camera angle. I love, like, just the way he draws architecture and stuff. I've said it before, I say it again. I would love to have, like, John Byrne do a spread in Architectural Digest or something like that, just because he draws the most amazing, like, living spaces with the details he puts into the furniture and the plants and the chandeliers and all that stuff. I'm wondering here, it's very interesting to see this texture on Lois's coat, because I feel like Terry Austin's inks, he's like super famous for putting in a bunch of different textures and techniques, like really artistic inking efforts. So I kind of would like to see the original art for this, because I'm almost guessing that there's no pattern whatsoever on her jacket in the original pencils, but I could be wrong. I don't know. That's almost a Doctor Strange cape trim. Weird that Doctor Strange would come up. He came up in that issue of Fantastic Four as well. John Byrne, that's like one of his only regrets of his career, is that he turned down the chance to work on Doctor Strange because he felt he wouldn't like be right for it. Wrong. I think he's dead wrong. I think he would be perfect for him, and it's not too late, John Byrne. You're only 70, for God's sakes. Anyway, isn't that amazing, by the way, that he's 70 years old? And, like, literally, if you saw the way he draws now, like, he is at the top of his game. Like, it's just unheard of how excellent. Once again, another fun pattern on Clark's coat. I'm guessing that's probably something... I feel like there's certain things about Terry Austin ink that drove John Byrne crazy. And he doesn't, like, sing hallelujah like most people do when talking about you know, he's sort of like, oh, it was okay, and Terry was like really polished. Because I do feel Byrne is a little sketchier in the way he inks himself than, you know, Austin. It definitely does have a refined polish to his inks, but I feel like that's what makes him such an incredible inker. Like, he makes everyone look incredible. I've loved so many of his collaborations over the years, like Art Adams and Rick Leonardi and Marshall Rogers, obviously. Obviously, people. Anyway, how fun is this? I just love seeing, like, John Byrne just must have been, he doesn't speak fondly about his time on Superman. He feels like he was kind of just used to boost sales, but duh. Like, of course, like, the Prince of Marvel comes to DC, like, why else would they be doing it? Here comes the Phantom Stranger. But he must have just been having the time of his life, having been, you know, built his career at Marvel and never really worked at DC except for like that Batman miniseries that he did the first issue of. I could be turning the pages faster, I realize that, but I'm distracting myself. Okay, guys? But look at all this gorgeous, like, detail. Some people complain that Byrne doesn't do backgrounds. Like, I don't know. Maybe it, you know, obviously he has more fans than not. I love the art on this Captain Atom, by the way. That was so cool. I think I have an issue somewhere. I'm going to have to dig up. But I'm dying. Like, I'm just dying. Like, Clark Kent, Superman, Apocalypse, Byrne drawing it for the first time. So, I mean, he just is killing it. So fun. Like, this is so cinematic. Like, I can just see stuff like little... it's like the little moments that, like, make for good comics and good writing. Just, like, the little nuggets that you get. And Granny Goodness, I'm obsessed with Granny Goodness. I mean, she's basically like a drag queen, so of course, why wouldn't I be obsessed with her? But, and I do have the John Byrne New Gods Omnibus. It's on the dresser in the bedroom, and it's on the way, kids. I just feel like I want to reread it to give us, like, a better appreciation of it. And that video will probably take 4 years. Apocalypse looks so awesome. Parademons. Why is this so fun for me? It's not like I was this big Jack Kirby New Gods fan, although it is amazing by all accounts and any limited exposure I've had to it. So they didn't call him the gang for nothing, right? This is, oh, you know what? I forgot to go over the credits. That's so unlike me. John Byrne, writer, penciler. Terry Austin, inker. John Costanza, letterer. Tom Ziocco, colorist, and Andrew Helfer, editor. I feel like Tom Ziocco is like, and I'm sure I'm slaughtering that name, but like a really good compliment for Byrne. I feel like, you know, this is pretty much what you would see coming from like Glynis Wein on the X-Men, maybe. I don't know, but different in a way. I really like his coloring. I feel like he also colored his Legends miniseries. And I hope to be digging that up soon. I sort of missed the boat on this Alan Davis Batman thing, and I don't know why, but I think I might have some of it, but love Alan Davis so much. I feel like Alan Davis and John Byrne are sort of in the wheelhouse of what are like my favorite classic comic book artists. They just draw heroes very well, very heroic. They draw everything good and very like pretty art. And this is a cool ass robot or whatever the hell it is. Do your duty at once, shock trooper. I mean, in a way, comic books are really silly, but they're just so much fun. I mean, are you guys watching Peacemaker? I just finished episode 7, and I'm like already lamenting the season finale because I'm gonna miss it so much, because it's pretty much the perfect like superhero vehicle, and I'm really like pleasantly surprised on so many levels, and it's so good. And it has like a sense of humor about comic books in general that I feel like if you're a hardcore comic book fan, which of course I am, you sort of appreciate that because you're kind of in on the joke. The Outsiders, when it became Batman less Outsiders, and now Batman's back, it's like, yeah, you didn't go too far without him, did you, kids? But I love The Outsiders with or without Batman. It was amazing. I was there for the long haul. And they're kind of like the Alpha Flight of of DC Comics, because I feel like it was so good initially, and then like every reboot has never been satisfying. Like the one where Looker became a vampire. I know some people might like that. Someone who might be watching this, I know in particular, I think like that. I won't call him out, which is fine. You know, I'm glad you appreciated it. But I thought, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of vampire. That is such a kick-ass Darkseid right there. That looks so good. And this is why we love John Byrne. I mean, just like, look at the storytelling on this page alone. Like, Superman's being attacked. He's disappearing into the fire pit. There's Darkseid just looking like a butthole watching out through this cool-ass window that this scene is giving me totally Mobius vibes, and I've never thought that about John Byrne's art before, so that is super cool. I'm just loving this. I mean, I just feel like he must have had so much fun, and if I were drawing this page, I'd be like really sad when it ended. Anyway, such a great issue. Such a great run. Superman #3 by John Byrne, the legend, being inked by Terry Austin. So great. So fantastic. Doesn't it make you just want to pull out your old Superman Byrne run and reread it? I know it does me. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Don't like hit it over and over again, because then sometimes you leave unsubscribed, and then like when the numbers dip, I like have a panic attack, and we don't want that. Anyway, so subscribe if you're not. Hit like, share my content, and I'll bring you some more soon. All right, thanks guys.